So this video is going to be of interest to anyone that wants to add a three-way switch to a guitar or bass, but to have the middle position in series and not in parallel. Now this could be useful if you want to put a switch on a jazz bass, for instance, or Seymour Duncan P-Rails, or a Warman G-Rails, for instance. I can't believe I've actually got all those things to hand. Or if you've got a guitar with two humbuckers, you might want to go for like a mega humbucker. I don't know why, but it might be worth a try. Now in this case, let's go over here. So what we have here is a Wilkinson WJM pickup. It is half Music Man, half jazz bass. And internally it's wired like a normal 4-wire pickup humbucker. So I've seen people wire it up so you can just switch on and off one of the pickups, or you can fade in one of the pickups, but I want them to be independently available like that, because that seems to me the whole point of having the two. And a standard three-way switch won't do that. Now, regular viewers to this channel will probably recognise this bass. I'd made a couple of mistakes in it and I was going to give up on it, but I put it right. I don't know if there'll ever be a video on that, but one of the things was the shape was slightly lopsided. I didn't like it. So I'm not sure if I'm ever the first person to ever take a track saw to a bass and then saw it off and re-glue it. And I've got this accented flamed walnut in there now, which it looks better than what I actually originally intended. And around the back, the mistake I'd made was I'd used this template, which is the one for the lid, not the one for the actual cavity, when routing this out. So it just happens that after I'd sawn a section of the guitar away, there was enough wood to introduce a new lip here, and I just made a separate inset bit here to hold the rest of the lid. That worked out great. So you could say, why would you care? Whether it's in parallel or series. You care because it makes a very different noise. If I use a multimeter here for a second, if I measure the resistance of the top coil, we're coming out at around 6 ohms, and the jazz coil just below 6. As a humbucker, you would expect the resistance to double when you put both coils in place, because you want the signal to go up one and back down the other. In fact, what is happening is if I put it in the middle position, it's halved the resistance, which means that the the electricity is going down both at the same time, so the path of resistance is less. I may have oversimplified that, but that's what's going on. So we want both in series. I mean, some people do like that weakened tone. Prince, for instance, on the record When You Were Mine, uses it there. However, I don't particularly like it. And also, if you've ever checked him out and live at Montreux doing the live performance of it without that tone, it is so much better. Yeah, so we're going to use a slightly different type of switch. This is the traditional type of switch you might use. So one signal path goes here, one signal path goes here, and then they get merged in the middle. Whereas we're going to want something a bit like this, which is a well, this one conveniently says on the side it's a DP-DT, so double pole, double throw switch. I found this one, most switches like this are usually tiny little weedy ones you see used for mini toggles. I managed to find this one which looks like something out of the space program. This bit comes off, but I'm going to use this switch to do this. Right, using science, this is science, I've determined the wire colours again, and conveniently we're working to the same colour codes as Seymour Duncan. I wish these were standardised. My only doubt is that I don't know which is the south start and the south finish. So essentially the jazz bar, the jazz, what on earth is it called? The jazz bass pickup. And the top one is the Music Man one. Oh god, I've lost all fours. Anyway, so let's start this thought process. I'm thinking of the pickups as two independent pickups. So that means we have hot coming in here and white for the ground coming out the other side. Just pretend this pencil is white. So this goes to ground. And on the other side, for the jazz bass pickup, the red coming in and the green coming out. Going to ground. Obviously you can't see that if my hand's in front of it. Going up, going up here. Into here, out here, zero. And that would be our humbucker. And if we hardwire it like that, it would always work like that. So how do we put the switch in the middle position and get this and not that? Well, our ground coming out here to ground. And the ground from here going also to ground. But what we then do is we persuade our red in to go around and straight to the ground. Effectively, we're just dumping the hot signal to the ground straight away, so it would not be part of the signal path. As I say this, I'm doubting myself, but let's go with it. So yeah, position 1 will do this for the Music Man pickup. And now how do we persuade it to do the jazz bass pickup? Joined to the hot over here. And then we short circuit the output here in to the hot there. Oh, it's hard to describe. And then what else? How do we wire in the rest of the circuit? Well, we take out this is the hot output, which would then go to the volume switch pot, and then we'd also take here to ground. What do you think? I mean, I've studied lots of push-pull solutions, things like that. Oh, don't doubt yourself, just go with it. See you in a minute. Right, now the soldering iron's heated up. The first thing to do is to repair my daughter's headphones, so I can't hear her friends shouting at the top of their voices while she's playing Roblox. Shouldn't take long. So we are there. Don't need to hear that. So, as before, can you see that? Try not to fire the thing across the room. Right. So what am I doing? Okay, so all the way to the top we have 6 ohms. All the way to the bottom we have 6 ohms. So both coils are working as expected. Now in the middle position, rather than subtracting, as in causing less resistance, we want more resistance. And I've got both things on the same side. And yes, that's sort of 2 times 6. Well, it is 2 times 6. It works. Awesome. So we got there. I hope that was useful to someone. I'll see you in the next one. What's this? Why am I saluting?